Alright, so in theory I should be streaming. Hopefully, bear with me just one moment while I get this pulled up on my tool side here. But there was one thing that I'm noticing right now, and I hope I didn't just mess a whole lot of things up. We'll find out here shortly, I guess. I did mess a whole lot of things up. There we go. This is why checking this out. Unfortunately, with a lot of these Poke clones, I just have to set things up on the fly, and so right now we're having a little bit of issues here. There we go. Alright, hopefully the game is up, running, and is going to update. Let me check that. There we go. Yes, it is. Okay. So, while I was setting this up, the audio was explodingly loud. I don't know how to explain it other than that. And there was no option for me to adjust the volume. It looked like in the options, so this game originally is Spanish, but it does come with a translation. In the menu, it referred to the opening song, and so I turned that off. However, since touching that, I have gotten no audio at all, even, like a little background sound or something when I'm trying to pick which character I want to play. So I don't know if we're gonna have audio or not. I will correct that if I have to. But for now, I'm gonna pick which character I want to play as. Man, I'm not gonna lie. Gary Sprite, something about that. Like don't get me wrong. Like if we're picking here, I would be like I could see myself going red. I could see myself going gold. But like, I don't know, man. The popped collar, the deep V cut. I'm going with Gary fucking Oak. Alright, we do have a little bit of audio there, but if I have to, I will turn the audio up. Right now, it's there, but it's not consistent. Let's go with that. Choose your rival. We are going to... Whoa. Oh, I never noticed there are different sprites for each person. I didn't even think about hitting the up and down arrow. Oh, you know what? Let's go with that, Chris. And we're going to keep the name. By the way, if anybody does stop in, please let me know if I have to update the audio. However, we won't know until there's actually consistent audio. Right now, it is very, minimal. Alright, there we go. Before starting your adventure, you must answer some questions. Wait just a moment. I apologize that the audio is, like, non-existent right now. The reason I had to turn it off is not only was it incredibly loud, it was also copyrighted music. I know it's copyrighted music because all of it was coming right from other Pokemon merchandise and things like that. I think, like, maybe some of it came from the To Be a Master era CD stuff. Don't get me wrong, beautiful music, love all of it, but not exactly the kind of thing I want to open a stream up with, so I apologize for the lack of audio. I could throw some music I have access to, but I don't think, yeah, right now it's just sound effects. Look, Rigid, today I had to butcher a whole bunch of roosters because they have gotten to be problematic. And I will dive into that story in a little bit, but because of that, I, like, briefly read that you are microwaving a couple of chickens. And, like, that's all I read. And I was just like, look, man, I that's not the way I go about eliminating my excess roosters and chickens and things, but, like, bro, you do you. Yeah, okay, but yeah, there is game audio, yeah. Alright, choose according to your preferences. Look, big farmer energy, I love the vegetation. Select the word that best defines you. I like nostalgia, I like simplicity, balance, chaos, power, control. Playing a Pokemon game. What term best defines you? Tourism. Fuck this Pokemon shit. Alright, okay, creativity's not bad. I am a sucker for nostalgia bait. I'm gonna go with that one. Choose the difficulty mode. Look, we are only doing this for stream purposes, so let's go with normal. We're not going to dedicate a whole lot of time to this. I do have to say, I did play a significant longer amount of the this gym of mine, and it does expand into a lot more. We really touched on all of the basics, but you do go through, you have your battle matches, you go through, you level up. One of the things I didn't realize while playing it was all of the wild Pokemon scale to your level. So no matter where you go, the wild Pokemon might be at differing level rates. So where you go to grind for experience and things, we'll go with that for the motto. I don't so much care. There was a lot of interesting elements to some of that, but yo, hold up, an Eevee starter? Alright, there is definitely no background music at all, and I'm suspecting then that all of the background music was probably tied to the lineup of songs they had, and I flipped through like 8 or 9 of the options, and they were all copyrighted, so I do apologize for that. We'll be rather quick on this one. Yeah, I was going somewhere, but I feel like progressing on this with no audio is probably the better way to go. In fact, you know what? Let me see here. I don't know if you guys can see my file list here. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But I do have something I can check into here for... I thought I did. Apparently I don't. Unfortunate. I thought I had access to... I have a couple of songs that I actually paid people to produce for my streams. One of them being something by Nikki G, which I've still to this day wanted to actually make use of, but now I can't find it. My name is Samuel Oak, but everyone knows me as Professor Oak. As you know, this world is inhabited by creatures known as Pokémon. For example, these Pokémon are Eevee, Pikachu, and Riolu. Oh, we're getting a little cry introduction. So, again, normally you just get a bunch of Pokeballs and you don't get to see a whole lot. I do like getting like a little cry introduction, seeing the Pokemon before you select them. I know that in the more modern games, that's a thing you get. You do get to see the Pokemon before you select them, but you still have to check the individual Pokeballs. Alright, we're still getting a lot of the basic openings here. We're going to try to skip ahead to some new content. This is, after all, part of the reason I was checking this stuff out. I also want to double check. What was the name of this one? This one is Pokemon Relicit, or something to that effect. And I believe this is just kind of a Pokemon expansion project. This is, I believe, what was listed as the final beta. Catch every Pokemon in the world. This won't be an easy task. You'll have to defeat other trainers to grow stronger and win gym badges. If you win all 8 badges, you will be able to face the Elite Four. Yep, we know all of this. So if we're going to start off and choose the starter, out of the options here, I think I'm going to go with Eevee. Reminds me of that Goob Smoot short about microwaving a mouse. He's that guy I've been sharing who draws pictures and dubs over them to... Okay, yeah. See you tomorrow? Bro, I already know who I'm picking. Give me that Eevee. Okay, now there is some background music, finally. I'm glad that it wasn't nothing but a bunch of silence. Yo! Hold up! Who is that? Not only who is that, why is she kind of cute, though? Can we end the meeting? I think that is enough for today. Although, missing a point to try. We have a whole meeting of the minds here. Are we going to talk about the Rainbow Project again? I think we've already made it clear that we're not interested. I have no idea if this song is based on a copyrighted one, but this is at least different than what we were getting before. Hey, Keegs? Oh, no. Geminar was possibly going to be last night. We can still watch it tonight if you guys are up to after the stream. But yeah, this is this is gonna be the actual game. She looks like that girl from. Holy shit, she kind of does. I mean, the outfit is different. It's not quite one-to-one, but you're right. Like the inspiration energy is 100% there. I knew Lysandre was an ally. You know, honestly, Giovanni was the one that had the rainbow rockets. Like, who knew Giovanni was an ally too? Oh God, Pokemon Company, what are you saying that you made them all villains? We have not yet given the floor to the new... Who the hell? Why does he look like he's just got jacked arms? Like, he's not built like a muscle dad, you know, but like, the man looks like he does not fuck around. He works out. He's got that runner bod. Some of you still do not know me. My name is Custom. Their evil organizations enjoy great reputation throughout the Pokemon world. However, none could be considered successful. Plans that have failed, constant humiliations, repudiating in your regions. Now, I do want to say once again, I touched on this briefly. This game is originally in Spanish, and I believe the lead person behind all of this is Spanish speaking. It was all programmed to be that way, and I believe somebody else was brought into the project to make various translations. So I don't know how reliable the English translation is, but we're gonna go through this and do our best. Who do you think you are that can... I'm trying to interpret this. Talk to us with that impudence, rookie. I do not like to hesitate. My spies have passed me very interesting information about your teams. Do not be surprised, everyone here has infiltrators. Anyways, I found it curious to observe a common objective in your future plans. The Star Region. A place full of life, of mysteries. Gym leaders, Pokemon trainers, and even famous researchers from other regions have already discovered the potential of this Pokemon paradise. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. I know very well that some of you have already settled there or contemplate it as a possibility. If you are really interested in the Star Region, you are in luck. We, the team... the Team Raccoon, have information material and locations at your disposal. Just absolutely a fan of the Ginyu Force, Raccoon specifically. It's that professional wrestler energy that he came in with, right? It will not be cheap, but everything can be negotiated. We will be able to collaborate, always making clear what limits can be crossed and what cannot. Custom looks like a villain in a season, you know, a Russian JoJo villain. I can see it. I kind of like the idea of that too. Any questions? Alright, and so we are starting out in Alba Town. No. Surprised I can actually rest there though. Alright, let me see if I've got the classic potion sitting in here. I've got 5 of these. What? Alright, this is obviously a GameCube, but it kind of looks almost like there's something in the 4th player slot. What is that? Okay, look, I respect what you're trying to go for, but like, First of all, there's no way that's a Switch, and there's no way a Switch is going to be hooked up to any kind of TV that is still to this day going to have bunny ears on it. But I appreciate the attempt. Oh, it's not our mom, it's our sister. You must be happy. Wait, is this because I started with Gary? Would it have been, like, if I started with Gold, would this have been more reminiscent of Gold's house? I know this is like a dumb deviation, but I kind of want to check this out later, and maybe I will, and I'll let people know in the Discord because I'm kind of curious how this plays out. Just for clarity, this is Pokemon Relict with a T at the end. But like, Gary lives with his sister. We started with the Gary beginning. We gave him our own unique name path instead, but like, I wonder if you picked other characters, would you be with your mother or somebody else? Would it be the same home? Just, I know that sounds like a really dumb thought, but like, I find the idea of something that expansive very interesting. Stand name, gotta catch 'em all. Oh man. Okay, so a lot of the powers don't necessarily have to have anything to do with their name, like directly. Sometimes it can be a little bit like tongue-in-cheek or just very, maybe even passively related. But like, that's very on the nose. I'm curious what it would be. I have an idea. I want to hear what yours is going to be, Keegs. The Infinite Fusion had, I think it was a PS4 in the player's room. Nice. You must be happy. Soon you will fulfill your dream of becoming a Pokemon trainer. Oh shit, this is going to be tied to my actual like home clock, isn't it? Honestly, a lot of these do that, and it's a really cool idea. But since I stream late at night, it's just like, man, everything's going to be at night, isn't it? I guess that Chris and you are now rivals. That competitiveness is essential for any trainer. Good luck on your trip. Alright, is there like a... The people of the Star region are kind to Pokemon trainers. If you visit their homes, some of them will give you... Yo! You don't even have to pick up items from, like, the floor anymore. You can just talk to people and they'll give you items. If Pokemon fight, they're going to level up and become stronger. Cool. I am looking for, I assume, some place to get my Pokemon. That's what I came out... Why the hell is my house so goddamn big? Holy shit! My home is bigger than the goddamn lab! I didn't even pay attention. How fucking loaded is Gary motherfucking Oak? Your idea for what the stand would be. Like, gotta catch 'em all. Like, what would the power be? Okay, yeah, the dub stand name because you can't have a 1-for-1. Capture. Fair enough. Hello, Ian. We were waiting for you to arrive. Yesterday, I gave you the trainer manual that I hope you studied it. No, I'm gonna be fine. You can see it by pressing F1. Fair enough. It's time to give you your own Pokedex. Cool. We're gonna take the Pokedex. We're gonna go capture Pokemon. We're gonna figure out what's wrong with this world. Oh, so Chris picked a Pokemon before we got here, and we aren't, Alright, Chris is already peacing out. But it is interesting that Chris isn't going to be picking based on what we pick. Chris has already been assigned her Pokemon. Alright, they are not in the same order as they were before. Give me that Eevee. Oh, it's a female Eevee. If I was not going to keep it as an Eevee, I'd name it Hearts. Because of the tail. Before you start your journey, I have something here for you. Oh, sweet. That's actually a lot of Pokeballs right out of the gate. By the way, this game actually has its own launcher, so this is not just a simple ROM. Is this the one that had the ROM hack, or is this something else? Let me check here. Give me a second. I want to see, because some of these are ROM hacks, some of these are their own launchers. Right, this one is its own launcher. Eevee has an unstable genetic makeup that suddenly mutates due to the environment which it lives. Radiation from various stones caused this Pokemon to evolve. Okay, hold up. Eevee is the radiation Pokemon, isn't it? That's kind of a dope idea. Oh, I already posted it? Oh, okay, let me see here. Yeah, I saw the stand name, Gotta Catch 'Em All. I was wondering, like, what the powers would be. Also, Gary is loaded. His grandpa's a world-famous Pokemon professor. Dude was driving around a convertible. Yeah, okay, look. Is Gary loaded? Yes. But, like, the idea that Gary is living in a home with his sister. Okay, this is Professor Oak's lab. The hell? Which Pokemon was that? We got Shadow Lugia? But yeah, this is like Professor Oak's lab. This is someone's already like two-sided home. So like, come on. Professor Oak's lab. My fucking home. Like, sweet mother mercy. Your sister was looking for you. I think she had something for you. Oh, all right. Well, let me go home for a minute. I can't remember. For some reason, I don't know if this was like unofficial content, side content, what. But I remember hearing somewhere along the way that like the idea of Gary leaving with that like convertible and everything, like he does like outgrow a lot of the showmanship by the later on points, but at some point, again, I might be mixing up unofficial content with official, but I think something like happened to that vehicle as well. Grandpa gave you a Pokemon. How lucky. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't be the sister then, because obviously if you're not taking Gary, you wouldn't be Oak's grandson then. Again, does that change your starting home? I've got to look into that later. I'm too curious now not to. I almost forgot. I picked up your mobile phone from the workshop so you can take it on your journey. It's fixed. The only bad thing is that all your contacts and apps have been deleted and internet connection is not working. I picked up your phone. By the way, welcome back to 2002. Here's your Razor phone, your Razor flip phone. It'll tell you the time and make phone calls. Good fucking luck. You can use the phone by pressing F8. I put in my number since everything else got deleted. So, good luck. Alright, we did get a map as well. Alright, we're starting in Jessica Alba Town. You know, wait a minute. Hell yeah, there is a... Oh! Whoa! Hold up. Okay, wait. I don't... What other moves do I have? Hold on. How do I tell what moves we have? This is real-time battle. Hold up. Okay. Copycat is the first one. I don't know how to figure out what the other ones are. I'm gonna have to figure out what button allows me to tackle. Okay, and there is actually like a little bit of a cooldown time. No. Okay, that's helping hand. Tail. Okay, I figured it out. Honestly, if I could use my joystick on this would be so much better. Alright, now, how do I... Oh! Well, okay. Okay, so, like, that's gonna take a little bit of getting used to. I'm not used to doing, like, keyboard shortcut 3D combat like that. It's gonna take a little bit for me to get, like, the angles down. Right now, I'm just using the 4 primary coordinates. But real-time combat is really cool. Also, it means I actually have to understand which moves are attributed to which key commands. Again, as if I were a Pokemon trainer issuing commands. I've got to know what you have access to. Yeah. I'm not seeing it when I scroll up there to see, like, what you actually put it as the powers. So, I assume maybe for whatever reason YouTube might have censored it, because Rigid runs into that quite a bit. Where, like, there's some word somewhere in there that it just does not like. Alright, basically the stand and traps its target in, like, balls and then shrinks them down. It doesn't kill them, it just traps them. You see, I kind of had the idea on that, but I had, like, a part 2 to the stand power, right? Imagine you do that, but, like, maybe you can only capture so many at a time. But then you can also control them once you can release them and control them in a sort of mind control system. But maybe it's got, like, a range. Like, you as the stand user still has to be, like, somewhere nearby for it to apply. The next entry in one of the Gen 7 games about Eevee looking like its trainer as time passes. Look, the idea of, like, an Eevee becoming, like, very trainer-like is also, yeah, just generally fun. Yeah, I don't know. It genuinely, like, jumps all over the place. Alright, now, let me check something. Menu color? Whoa! Whoa, there's a whole system here! All kinds of customizations? Interesting. Oh, trainer battles are going to be really cool with this. God, the idea of combat going that way is just absurdly cool. Alright, let me... Oh, geez. Where are the... There we go. Alright, let's see how a trainer battle goes. In each route, different Pokemon appear by day and by night. Is that why I'm fighting, like, the Dark Rattatas? Man, this Patrat is going all over the place. Oh, you can actually do combat exchanges as well. Oh, and then they go right into the next one. I wonder if your Pokemon's actual speed stat also determines how fast you can move on the field. Because that would actually, like, if you really got good at, like, the, again, I am not going to be there, but, like, if you got really good at using your, keys here for the mobility. Nope, get me out of there. Whew. Alright, there we go. Eevee leveled up. Ooh, quick attack. How? Okay, so now the question becomes about how these things work in comparison to other moves. So let's go with that one. Alright, so that's... Oh! So quick attack has more range than tackle, but it is a dedicated direction still. I bet you could use quick attack the way that they do in the anime and actually use it for evasive needs as well. Can I? Uh-oh. No. I had figured it out earlier. There we go. Oh! I actually have to have a dedicated item in order to use it. So I really am just, like, locked in here. There we go. Was that all of them? Thank goodness. Alright, so how do I assign this? During battle, you can press A to... Okay, awesome. So you actually have to have the item assigned in order to even use it in battle. So you can't just spam your items consistently as well. You've got to be dedicated to what you're doing going into a battle. That's actually a really cool idea. Hey Rich, welcome to the stream. How are things going? Hopefully things are going well. I have a little bit here to catch up on. I think this is one of the ones I have downloaded recently. So like the battle system is Legend ZA. It seems very similar. I don't know if they all have their own unique cooldown time, because it does seem like they have... What is up with you? That is definitely going to mean something, though. But, like, the cooldown doesn't necessarily seem to be, like, tied to the move. It does seem pretty consistent no matter what you're doing. But, yeah, it's got a Legend ZA battle system, which, you know... Congratulations, Nintendo. Even on your own battle system, you might not have been the first to arrive at it. I do want the Spearow for the flying type coverage. We've got a Dark Rattata. Which I really should have... I saw it after the fact. I really should have named it Evil Rigid. Alright. Throw that ball out there. Got a wicked curve on that arm. Nope. We're just gonna not go with the nicknames for now. I missed the big obvious one, so I guess at this point. I'm sorry. There's also new Pokemon. What the ever-loving hell? Your Spearow evolves at level 20, so obviously that's going to be how you get Fearow. But if you evolve it into level 40, at night, there's a third stage. Alright, hold up. Now that we've got that to look at, let me see here. Alright, so it is still the same. We got Spearow. Where's Eevee? Come on. Oh, there we go. Alright, so... it's only telling us about the Water Stone, but like... okay, there we go. Sunstone, Moonstone, Leaf Stone, Ice Rock, Shiny Stone, Dusk Stone. Wait. Mineral Stone. Nymph Stone. Ah, wait. Hold up. No. No, no, no. We are not getting the Nympho Eevee. That is not where this is allowed to go. Sky Stone, Bug Stone. We get a whole bunch of different Eevees, though. That's pretty cool. Please tell me that if there's a Metal Stone, because I mean, I saw that there was a Metal Stone, but it lets me get a Mecha Eevee. Please. All right, this got way deeper, and I'm not gonna lie, I might make this. Cause hear me out. I've talked about doing a new like Nuzlocke run, but like I was thinking about doing some change ups to it. God, this might be what I return to for a Nuzlocke run. But yeah, I also love that you can use like a move like Quick Attack as an evasive. Like if I want to close the distance, I can use it to do that, but like I kind of got to be on the defensive once I do that, but I can also use it to just get away. But it puts such a new angle on the battle for me. Alright, I assume that's probably not like the way to go. I think that's just going to be going around the lake for a bit. The Pokey Brick. Oh, jeez. Alright, let me see here. I played a little bit of Infinite Fusion earlier today. I did a quest and caught a Spearow, which I fused with a Hoot Hoot. Legend ZA system without the cooldown from what I'm seeing. I mean, there is a cooldown, but it's not like the cooldown relies on like what move you use. It just, the cooldown seems to be very limited resource to go on right now. Fairly just universal. Trying to save up enough to order one more big purchase. Not going as well as saving money's hard, yeah. I actually knew someone when I was a kid with a Spearow, with Sparrow as their last name. Third stage for Spearow, interesting. I bet the third stage is called Scarrow. Keegs, I hope the That's New is about the Nympho Eevee. I don't know how the hell we get to that point, but like, that is worrisome. If there's a ghost one, I'd imagine. How do you get to the ghost Eevee? Gun to the head. There's a Mars and a Venus stone. That implies gender-based evolution, so I guess the Mars stone only works on males and the Venus only on females. If that's what they're going for, again, really cool idea. Man, that was just... that Rattata just got bodied. There we go. That definitely sounds like it's probably a like a MIDI or slightly chip-tuned version of some other consistently other Pokemon song. Man, I was just barely out of the range of that. Let's try, yeah, I would like to use the potion. So even when you use it, you still have to have, like, the time to get over to it. Like, the potion has to travel to your Pokemon. You could use a potion and still lose the fight. There we go. I'm just, like, really super excited about this one. Like, I genuinely really like what they have tried to go on here, and then also, again, all of the extra content stuff. Right, see, right there was a pretty good example of what I was talking about, of being able to use Quick Attack as a, as an evasion move as much as it is an offensive one. And this Rattata is very aggressive. This one right here might be female, but this is the big rigid moneymaker right here. This one ain't fucking around. What would really help me wrap my head around this game, and I'm going to have to look into it, is to see if I can get the controller to work on this. Right now, it's got no input from it, but like, if that was an option, that would make the combat so much more fun. I'm only just now realizing that the Pokebrick is like the idea of bludgeoning your Eevee. I genuinely thought that was still a reference to the one in particular, the Eevee getting bricked up to evolve. Or like if your Mars evolution, if Keeg's idea holds true that it's gender based, it's really just the Mars stone is just a big blue pill. How do you make your male Pokemon evolve? Just there you go. Stop running away. You are a Bidoof. You are not allowed to make me worry that much on just being able to catch up to you. There we go. It also looks like being able to make contact with the move really helps with the recharge rate. I don't think we need to learn Growl. I think out of what we have, I like having the Quick Attack. And I like being able to reduce their defense more than I do the attack. I don't know if I want to trust myself with a ranged move yet. And I've seen them use Growl. And Growl is definitely a ranged option. Okay. Oh, that's my rival. Hold up. What are we looking at here? I still have a potion. Yo, got a Quick Claw on it. I'm just gonna stick with what I got. Eevee's gonna carry me for a while. You wouldn't believe what I was that I was gonna leave without battling you. From now on, we are rivals. Look, Chris, you can't be sending your Rattata after me, the trainer. Like, that's plain dirty. If nothing else, this is going to mandate that I get significantly better at using my keyboard for games like this. Because like I said, I do not have a lot of experience playing games this way. Yo, an Abra? Yo, hold up. But wait, teleport could be really cool on this. Like, if teleport doesn't actually make you run away, like, clearly we're seeing that it's not what it does. So, like, the idea that teleport... Alright, let me use my last item here. Yeah, see, that could have actually ended me. The potion just got there just in time, though. Alright, baby doll eyes. Nope, we're gonna stick with what we got. What's been... Okay, I guess we're not. I guess we'll get rid of tackle. Okay, she actually managed to, like, pull the Charmander starter. Despite the game she comes from, Chris is running with the Gen 1 strategy. She's really, like, moving around, though. That fire damage is gonna eat me alive. Alright, we barely pulled that out. Throwing a brick at an Eevee sounds like it would wind up with an average pit bull owner. Yeah, luckily Richie understands the idea of loving the dog to get, you know, the good outcome. A trainer with 4 Pokemon already. Yeah, the Ember just kind of goes and goes. I think all of the ranged attacks are going to work that way. I think they just go until they hit the wall. But there's a lot about this that I'm curious about where it goes. Like, is Flamethrower just going to be the same visual as Ember? Is it going to have, like, a line of it? Like, imagine, like, 3 or 4 Embers that just kind of go in a line and follow each other. Like, I could see that being, like, a really cool thing. I don't know if that's what they're going to do. I have no idea how any of this is going to work out. What can I say? You fought better than me. Having a strong opponent will be... Look, I barely pulled that off the skin of my taint. Having a strong opponent will be a great motivation for my training. You want my phone number? I just talked about pulling a win by the skin of my taint, and somehow that's just like, oh yeah, by the way, here's my digits. Anyways, almost all the time I have it turned off. So good luck contacting her. Time to move on. I will defeat you next time. See you, Ian. I will say, though, I almost feel like maybe I should start, like, if I'm gonna play this game consistently, maybe I should start with a different starting character, because I just need to figure out which one of the canonical starting characters is objectively, like, if my theory holds any truth to it, which one is objectively the poorest? That might be the one I go with. What about Hyper Voice? Sound-based moves have the potential to be busted in this. You know, it really depends on how it ends up working out. Like, I don't know what the balance they have on this is. Like, hypothetically, if they do all have the same recharge rate, and I did notice something earlier. Let me see if I can look this up. Yeah, they do have different PP rates, and I wonder if that's going to be determined on the recharge rate, not the actual, like, number of times you can use the move. I haven't noticed that, but we're also not looking at ones that have drastic differences, right? Like, what is the PP rate going to be for, like, Hyper Beam or something? So we are in the Hello, old man. Whew, what a long route. I need to rest right now. When I was a professor at the school of Velde Town, I was truly fit. And now I'm old, exhausted, and lying down. Oh, there we go. The professor sent me out of the class because of bad behavior. As revenge, I was pissing on the door. God damn, Jimmy! Alright, let's check a couple of these buildings out before we wrap up for this one. I love bug Pokemon. No two are the same, as similar as they can seem. For example, Caterpie can use String Shot, Weedle can use Poison Sting, Wurmple can evolve into 2 different Pokemon. Look, I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for the bug Pokemon, so I get it. If you're gonna throw a Pokeball to catch a wild Pokemon, first you have to attack it with your Pokemon to weaken it. Of course, the old classic. What the fuck with that sprite art, though? That young boy looks like he's gonna meet me in the back alley with a metal baseball bat. According to the rules of the Star region, the trainers can use up to 6 items in battle. Oh, you also can't change Pokemon more than 18 times across all 6 Pokemon, I assume. That's, again, these are some interesting rules to put into this. There aren't many trainers over here. If you want to battle, maybe the kids at the school are training. I don't think I'm going to actually head to the school. I think I am going to be wrapping this up here, but like, this one has a lot of cool potential. I am also going to save because I'm still not sure if I'm going to or not continue this at some other point. But like, I genuinely, out of the ones we've tried so far, I really liked this gym of mine. This one is really cool too. Anyways, please bear with me while I set up the next game. There we go. So that one was Pokemon Relicit. That was the version 1.1 so far. I do have Infinite Fusion, which was one that I was going to check out at some point. But I've also got this one is a GBA mod. This is called Record Keepers. And we'll see what this one's about. Let me pull up the chat here and see what this is. Just trust it'll all work out in the end. The skin of my taint. Here's my number. Get your mind out of the gutter. Look, as a man of culture, by all means, you may keep your mind in the gutter, but there are rules that must be respected on that. All right, let's see if I can get this set up properly. Go to that. So now if I do that, hopefully you guys can see the game, and hopefully the game is actually, yes it is. Sometimes when I do a game through this option of checking it out, it actually freezes in the recording. Not that it freezes in the gameplay, but oh. So, which one is enter then? That was one of them. Alright, looks like it's going to be K and L and then the old WASD. But this is running through the emulator. Oh, thank God, yes! I mean... Okay. What system is that? Don't mess with Jimmy. Jimmy is gonna pee in your sneakers while you're asleep. That boy looked like a middle stage between youngster trainer class and Francis from Fairly Odd Parents. Oh man, and then one of the other characters we talked with, like, looked like you remember Timmy Turner when he like became an adult and they turned him into like this advanced middle-aged bald man with a hunch. Like one of the other characters, I don't remember which one that was, but looked a lot like him. Good morning, Tiana. Up nice and early, hmm? So, are you Miss Satsuki? You look like you just rolled out of bed yourself. No matter. I did say we could sleep in for once. You've definitely taken that opportunity. The birds have long ceased their morning chatter. Hey, hey, hey. I don't get to celebrate my graduation every day. You are right. I was just pulling your leg. So, do you still remember your training, or did all the partying last night muddy up your memory? Honestly, all that practice and studying, yet you still forget everything. The moment you graduate. It appears I have to teach my student one more lesson. Steady yourself. Look, I don't know what differences are going to be. Holy what? I was not expecting this. I was definitely not expecting any of this. Geeks, I like this game. To change your active battler. Holy shit! That's dope as hell! Hold up, power punch! I'm not gonna get a lot of use out of that power-up punch. Alright, to show the next boss move? You're telling me I can just see what you're gonna do? Alright, I was hoping we were gonna outspeed it there. Alright, Psychic. I guess. Ankh Rogue. Alright, let's try the Night Slash. Being able to see what your opponent is going to do, though, that's broken as hell. But clearly this is something of a boss battle. So we'll see how this works out. Monsters in the back will heal a little after 3 turns. Stats will be restored in status after 5 turns. Alright, going with the energy ball. So I think we'll switch over to Bubbles. Alright, so we heal a little. Celebi is down 1. Boss. Okay, I was wondering why I couldn't. Bosses have multiple HP bars. Deplete them all. Gonna swap over to using the energy ball. So switch back here. Poison jab. I kind of thought I'd be able to pull that through. Oh, ancient power is what I should have used. Damn. Alright, stick here. I don't know what Frost Whip is. I'm gonna keep with Night Slash, I guess. That's gonna hurt, though. Not quite what I meant, but I'm glad it worked out. She's spicy. Look, spicy is one way to describe that, but I'm gonna tell you where my mind was when we see that that character art right after, because I was left a little uncomfortable there. The idea of boss battles here is kind of cool, though. Alright, so Ancient Power. Ideally, I'd be going over to our other battler here, but it doesn't look like I'll get that luxury, so fingers crossed! Alright, we're down to the last bar. I assume Frost Whip inflicts frozen status. But I don't know if I don't know what its like chance rate is, the hit anything, so like I'm just sticking with what I can manage to functionally try to pretend to use. And right now I'm keeping Bubbles in to try and let the other one heal up for a little bit. Alright, switching over to Psychic. Didn't really get much health, but hopefully enough. Hold in there! Alright, so, it's not quite what I meant to do! So yeah, trying to... It really seems like it loads the next text line a lot faster than I thought it was going to. And that's what I keep screwing up with there. Alright, hopefully we'll be able to survive one Ancient Power. Because I think we only need to survive the one. Alright. That was terribly done, but we did manage to win it. Okay. Clearly, there is some, like, ink pattern going on. That seems to be the implication going on. But, look. Look where that lower one, right? The one that goes up to the yellow-green. I'm just saying, that is coming out of a particular place. That is some rank nasty stank right there. She slept in and she forgot to shower either the night before or before I got here. Point is, she was clearly out partying and she left that fish stank all over the place. That should cover the gaps in your knowledge. Now, let's move on. We don't have all day. Less than half a day, in fact. From now on, you can select your strategy there. Interact with the Buddha tree to enter a myth. Remember, once you're in a story, you cannot receive any help from the outside. Make sure to use all the information the tree provides. Satsuki, we've gone over this so many times. I got it, okay? Look, I ain't got shit all. I needed that. Wonderful. As you know, the Bodhi tree writes records of what you do automatically. And since your work will now be public, I do not want to see any nonsense. Wait. Understood? I've loaded in the myths we have yet to understand. I look forward to your discoveries. So this is really going to be like, you know, deep dive into some myth and lore, and again, a really cool idea. I assume you've still got all your study notes written down in the terminal in your room, right? I have most of it, I think. Oh, right, one more thing. The library is now open to the public again. Since you are now officially a record keeper, I expect you treat our guests properly. Of course, I'll be on my best behavior, boss. Good. Wisp, not Whip. I imagine it's like Will-O-Wisp, based on the name. Probably? Can I check? Wait. Okay, we got 3 here. The Lost Archipelago, the Original Sinner, Overflowing Abundance. That's kinda dope. I can't check the info on my Pokemon, though. Yeah, I got nothing. Maybe I don't have access to the menu option yet? Question mark. Hello, Tiana. The library is now open. Please go check if there are any visitors who need any help. What? I mean it. I'll believe it when I see it. Well, where's the library? I don't know where nothing is yet. Oh. Oh! Alright, let's see what we got on the original Sinner. Data retrieved. Holy cow, you got actual, like books here to read. Giratina, the devil, the monster from the other side, the original Sinner. Little is known about them, and there exist many different tales about them. But throughout all of them, a single thread unites them. That's a lot of uses of the word them, but okay. Giratina was banished to the distortion world, from where it now conspires its revenge. Chaos seeps through the tears in reality, bridges between our world and the other side that unravel the very fabric of our reality. Where a rift appears, the surrounding area will start to show a very strange phenomena. Gravity may cease working, plants turn a hellish red, and geometry stops working as expected. Sound speeding up, light slowing down. Oh, damn! This place is truly fascinating. I mean, discovering history by simulating stories to find out what really happened? It's incredible what technology can do these days. Here's my question. If we are using technology to simulate what might have really happened, how can we trust that that's what really happened, like for realsies? This sounds like we're using AI to generate a history that we only have pieces of a puzzle to see through. And then just assuming that what it tells us is correct anyways. Yep, the whole system is incredible, though I still don't really understand how it works, even though I use it daily. Ah, so you're a record keeper. Well, since recently, yeah. Impressive, at such a young age, too. If you're interested, I could let Miss Satsuki know. We could always use more members. Thank you for the offer, but I think I'll pass. I'm no good with technology and prefer the more traditional ways of storytelling. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, as they say. Well, don't be so harsh on yourself. You look hardly older than me. Thank you. Don't worry about it too much. But I will still have to decline. I won't be here for long. My destination lies elsewhere. Just a question for my own curiosity. Are you working on anything specifically? Yeah, I've been assigned a couple of stories. They were, right. Overflowing Abundance, The Lost Archipelago, and The Original Sinner. The Abundant Smith, That does sound rather fascinating, as do the others. It sounds like you have a lot to do. I shan't hold you up any longer then. Well, talking to visitors is also a part of the job description, but you're right, I do have to get back to them. See you around, miss. Morgan. Got it. Take care, Miss Morgan. Alright, we're not going to talk to the other person. We are going to just push right on through. Let's go see what's going on with the big fancy tree. I'm going to go with the Lost Archipelago. Let's go see the story of Lugia. Myth initialized, successfully entering the story. Yeah, I am catching myself on doing a lot of the reading too quickly. Legends RCS turned up to 11. That's what I'm getting. Kinda. AI knows everything. People who use AI for everything. Yeah, a lot of what I have to end up doing is if I look something up using AI, I have to follow up and actually look into what it is that it tells me, because you just can't rely on it to be truthful. What do both of these do? Oh. Oh. Oh shit. What did I just do? I have different Pokemon now. Why? What's happening? There is not very good understanding that I'm allowed to have so far. Again! All I wanted to do was go to the next tagline. I wanted to see the next text line. I didn't want to use an attack. So yeah, it seems like I probably just have to do a lot of, well, if it's already, I guess, thunder. But yeah, I really have to get used to the idea that I can't, like, control things the way that I would in normal Pokemon games. A lot of this is just automatic. I'm gonna keep going with the thunder. Can AI tie your shoes for you? Didn't think so. Yeah, a lot of the AI stuff, to go off of your comment about cohesive. I assume are you talking about AI or the game? Because like I still don't understand like why things are like changing and altering the way they are. You obtain the power of cast form. I assume like there's really good reasons why certain things are the way they are here, but I don't understand them. I feel like they did mention that like there were like other places I could go read information. They mentioned something about some things probably being in my room or whatever for notes. I would hope at the very least that a lot of my questions would be answered there. Alright, so going off of this, I guess we'll just surf on the Galvantula? It seems like a bad idea, but like, I don't see a good idea, so let's just start with the bad ones and see where it goes from there. AI, how do I tie my shoes? AI, you make the loop-de-loop and pull. Oh man. You know, honestly, it would be a lot of fun if there was... I wonder how plausible, like, I could put something like that together that was just a goofy... like a goofy interpretation on what people think AI should be doing. Oh, I'm locked in now. I see. I was trying to swap my Pokemon, but it seems I'm not allowed to. Luckily, I think Galvantula is going to go down without too much further effort. Yes, yes. Continue going with the infestations. But yeah, to have like an AI system that responds with like a certain level of intent to like give you actual answers, but also just like to give you meme responses too. I think there's some potential fun to be had there. Alright, so let's see here. We're gonna get the rain. Can't remember what Electroshock does. Let's just see what that manages. Okay, special attack Rose. That seemed pretty effective to me. Alright, and if it's getting its defense up, I assume that we're still using the differences here, so I'm going to run with Electroshock. Keep getting stronger, and hit it with the stat that it's not buffing, so special defense is still where it always has been. I want to see something, because we had the Pokemon last time was flinch. Yeah, okay, so when you drop one health bar, they flinch, which should mean that I can get two back-to-back with the Electroshocks to boost my special attack. So I've got like +3 now. So let's see what this does to it at this point. Alright, pretty close to like taking the whole thing out. We are suffering from exhaustion, which kinda sucks. Let's switch over here. I want to see, what is Weather Ball going to look like? I don't remember what it looks like under the circumstances. Alright, we got a Drain Punch boost. Okay, now I can check the Pokemon. Okay. Weather Ball Plus. The move's type and power change with the weather, yes. Gives +10 special attack and +20 special defense for... Oh, okay, this is weird. Oh, I can put them on different okay. So honestly, if I put this Weather Ball Plus on, like, on that guy, that doesn't seem stupid to me. Honestly, Drain Punch on Politoed probably wasn't too bad either. Especially since I want Politoed to be able to get some health back. Go with the Electro Web over on you. Just dedicate to the electric power. And let's see what we're doing here. So you get a lot of customization for each one of these boss runs. I still don't know quite how this is going to work out, but Cleverbot's kind of like an AI like that. I might look into that. Could be kind of fun to mess with. The entire trade-off with AI is exchanging quality for convenience. Nothing that AI can do will be as good as what a human could do, but the task becomes faster and easier. What I will say there is it also is a bit of a, it is like getting a, how do I say that? I'm gonna use it like a video game term. It is kind of like giving you a buff to the skills that you're lacking in. So, for example, well, first of all, it's going to be pretty decent at like math equations and things, but you also have to know how to type in what you're asking for. But there are certain things that you can do with AI that if you have no skill set in whatsoever, you can use it to at least bring yourself up to a moderate level. That said, anybody who is dedicated to a skill set is going to be better as a overall than what AI can do on its own. Yeah, we are going against the big monk energy. Like, again, just because like the AI art is the big one that a lot of people have a stick up their butt about, I think that's a fair one to talk about in context here. If somebody is a dedicated artist and they have spent their time pushing on that skill set, they're going to be able to produce something better than what AI can. Like, probably the vast majority of times, with, you know, some possible rare exceptions, and of course your art style differences, things like that. But like, somebody who knows what they're doing with art and is dedicated to the process, they make beauty. And AI is still pretty shackled down and limited in a lot of ways. But if somebody has never touched this stuff ever, like digital artistry in any way, shape, or form, it'll get you like pretty far for a couple of things. And this is also where like there is an argument about ethical and unethical uses, but also like edge case scenarios. We see a whole lot of artists these days like canceling and not wanting to actually do jobs that they were paid for. So I've talked about this before. I've paid artists for work that they take my money and run away. And I don't know if these are necessarily scam art. They have like a catalog of work. They can show that they've done real work before. They have like video records of them, you know, like speed paint things all the way through to finish, so that you can see that, yes, they're an artist. Yes, they have these means, but like for one reason or another, like they forget about you, they lose contact with you. It doesn't matter what the reason is. I've run into this before. I've also had ones where like it took me, like they said, hey, we'll be able to get you something in 2-3 weeks. And I had to wait 6 months to get an update. And then it was like probably 9 months by the time they gave me like the end product. And don't get me wrong, it was good, but that's a long time from 2 weeks. So there are applications that you can kind of justify. One big one is there's a lot of artists out there that will negotiate with you, get to that point, and then it's just like, oh, by the way, I saw on Twitter or whatever somewhere you said something I disagree with, and now I'm not going to work with you. Like, look, if you're not going to give someone the opportunity to pay you for your skill set at that point, I don't know what you want me to say. They're gonna go another route then, and you might not like that other route. AI can definitely write better than me. That being said, I still prefer to write myself. I also think that AI can't write based on emotions and experiences. It can interpret what it thinks is there, but you have to have the human touch to really give something into it. This is, I wrote a song recently and I haven't done anything with it yet, but this goes into like a deal with the devil manipulation with using AI for these things, right? Like, if you wanted AI to write a story about struggles or something that you went through or your beliefs, you can't turn to AI to write it for you. You can turn to AI to expand on your work, to give suggestions and maybe help you, you know, churn the gear in your head. But if you really want to get like your thoughts and beliefs down, you still have to, there has to be the human touch involved. You have to, in the song I referred to it as the human aftertaste. You have to provide it something to build upon, because otherwise all you get is the machine going by the machine, if that makes any sense at all. Alright, Big Monkey Energy hitting me with a nasty plot. Man, the Drain Punch is just not going to do it for me. I think, based on what I have here, though, unless something seriously different happens, I'm going to stick with Politoed for a little bit here. I had that one artist I used to commission a lot that I had to cut contact with because they were draining me dry. I was their only contributor and each end product got worse. I hated doing that. I had to do that with someone as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I certainly hope they continue to find work through other means. I hope that they do well enough, but like, when I have reached the point of spending several $100s with you, and at this point I'm getting something that is just like, the first piece I got was good, and then after that I started getting degrading quality, but like either the price remained the same or even went up in some cases. Like, I can't stick with you because you're not sticking with me, right? Like, there is a bit of an agreement negotiation here, right? You pay for a certain thing, and when you aren't starting to get it, you kind of eventually start questioning things. And it sucks. Like, it's not... Yeah, anyways, the long story short, I completely agree with the idea that, you know, the AI stuff is never as good as someone dedicated to it, but I do think that if you don't have the means, or if there are other extenuating circumstances at play, man, the defense is going high though. Alright, let's see what that does. You know, oh, but that was a critical hit. Kind of hard to judge what it's going to do effectively off of a critical hit. So this is going to be a long, drawn-out battle, but this does seem like so far this is going to be pretty decent, all things considered. So I'm going to stick with this for a little bit. But yeah, as long as you use these tools as tools and you aren't trying to use them to complete from beginning to end without any involvement and all of that stuff, you know, you've got to use your tools responsibly, right? It's the same thing with like when I'm doing woodworking or anything like that. There are things I can do to be much faster, but I have to be reasonable with what I do as well. If I'm trying to strip paint off of metal, hey, it might make sense to use a steel wire brush. If I'm trying to strip paint off of wood, I don't want to use a steel wire brush. That is going to do a lot of damage over time. I actually was, I have a picture up on Discord for a project piece that my niece and I did together. And that was one of the things I had to explain to her. I'm going to try the electro shot here for a bit. That was one of the things I had to explain to her, though, is I was teaching her the tools, what they do, how they work, and she asked about the steel wire brush, and I had to explain to her the difference between steel, using it for steel, and using it for wood. But while I left her to strip the paint off of the piece, she decided that, well, if it's going to be that strong, it's just got to be faster at it. And so she tried to use the steel wire brush to strip paint off of the wood, and I had to explain to her, when you look at the damage it did behind it, you now have to spend twice as long sanding afterwards to do away with the damage that it did to the fibers on the wood. So you actually didn't save yourself any time at all. You have to use the right tool for the right job and be reasonable about what you're trying to achieve. Oh, thank you very much, Rigid. I want to build up my DVD collection again since physical media is being strangled. God, I'm so saddened by that. Also, I just like having my stuff physical anyways. I think I found a secondhand used DVD store. Freaking nice. I've got 2 of them nearby that I really like going to. One of them is actually, so my niece, well, my oldest niece and the nephew have started playing my old retro games. My oldest niece for the longest time was a big fan of like old arcade games, like the old Rampage. She even plays the original, like on the NES, Gauntlet. She's a big fan of that. And so, going off of that, I decided to work her up to some other games. She's gotten to be a big fan of the PS3 as of late. And with Sony having all of these troubles, like, I don't want to go out and, you know, support Sony, but, like, I also want my niece to enjoy, like, I kept all of this stuff for this very purpose, right? For somebody else to enjoy it behind me. So, when my niece wants to play these games, I'm like, I'm not going to say no to having her play the PS3. And one of the benefits of the PS3 is a lot of those games are still largely supported and still, the games are all on the disc. Like, you might still have to install it, but, like, I have, oh, it's not the most recent re-release, but I have one of the Skyrim, discs with all the DLC, right? Oh, you gained the power of Monkey Dory with Poison Point. The domain of Monkey Dory collapsed. I assume this is some, like, healing option. Okay, we are definitely healed. And we still, okay, so it's the same 3 Pokemon no matter what, but that is interesting. I like what this has going on. This is one of those things where if I was really dedicated to the process of this one, I might be looking into it a little bit more. Oh, that is really cool, though. I imagine it's probably, like, really useful to go through and like build out your team as expertly as you want to before you actually try to go and progress the main story stuff. Oh, okay. And you even have the... Man, if that's like the Pokemon movie 2000 where you've got the islands of fire, ice, and lightning. God, you even have like the newer stuff. That's really cool. I wonder at what point though you get to the idea of the lore going on. You probably... Whoa! Alright. You probably have to clear out, like, all of these to unlock, like, the actual fight of the area. But still, like, the idea here is really cool. Oh! Okay, no, you can just go right to the final foe. Let's see what this is about. Obviously, we're not equipped for this to be a winning fight. Alright, so let's go off of that, and let's try to just rock the thunder. Yeah! Lugia is a unit. Let's see where that all goes, though. We'll just play this out and see what happens. Seems they have some good prices. I saw a PS3 for 65 bucks. It was 50 yesterday, though. Yeah, again, with all of the unfortunate reality of, like you said, the physical media is getting strangled out, and people are buying things up like hotcakes. But anyways, like I said about Skyrim, she was playing Skyrim. She's a big fan of that right now. But on a physical disc, like I have a physical disc. It does not connect to the internet. There is no internet on that PS3 right now. A physical disc, you put it in and it installs the main game and the DLC. So is she getting the newest, most updated version with like the Creation Club content? No. But she's getting the base game, all of the DLC. She's experiencing all of the story as it was like originally delivered. All of that is physical right there on the disc. I install it. It's good to run. I really appreciate that. It's a website? Yo, hold on. I'm curious what website. Would you put a link to it on the Discord? If you're wanting to, you know, if you've got a gem in your back pocket here and you want to hold on to it, like by all means, man. I heard that Big O is getting a Blu-ray release. Fuck yes. Thank God for people like Discotech Media keeping physical alive. So I actually have Big O on the DVDs. Oh, whoops. The watch will fade. Whoop. That's on me for not paying attention. Alright, let's go for Politoed for now. And, like, we don't really have a lot of good options, so we're just gonna rock the Surf. I think that it should at least drop the... Oh, I was hoping it would be enough. Man, if that was Power Up Punch, I might be using that, but, like, we're kind of... It's just a little bit of a healing move. Thank you very much, Keegs. But yeah, I've got the DVDs, I've got it digitally. I don't have the means to like play a Blu-ray that I could like do anything productive with. I don't have like a way to strip Blu-rays myself either. But like I have Blu-rays, I like my Blu-rays, I watch my Blu-rays. And Big O is one of those shows that I really love. You have probably seen me reference Big O here and there in the Discord. Probably my favorite go-to line is, cast in the name of God, ye not guilty. And the intention behind that in its use is really good. I'm sorry, Big O is one of those shows that has such like the ending is like very ambiguous and left up to interpretation. So a lot of people don't like it, and I get why. It's also a very convoluted show. But I do like it. I like the big robots. I like a lot of the messaging within. I like some of the concepts that play. Also Dorothy, again, absolutely maniacal, disconnected character. Emotionally for good story-based reasons, but also, you know. Anyways, yeah, big fan of Big O myself, so a Blu-ray release would be awesome. I'd love to be able to get my hands on it. There's a guy we used to get DVDs from for $2 each. He drove to people's houses. He wouldn't sell only a couple DVDs if it was a long drive, though, of course. Flea markets are good places to find DVDs. Just be sure to check them before buying whenever possible. That is the hard part. I actually had to take a risk on the Skyrim release that I got. The inside ring of the disc is cracked, and I actually had to take it to some place to get the inner ring resurfaced. And it cost me like $5. But it was a place that'll do a full disc resurfacing. But I was more after getting that inner ring resurfaced so that it was like an even plane kind of thing. And it all worked out. The disc works. It installed the game just fine. Again, my niece is able to play the game, so plenty good on all of that. But yeah, I think I picked that game up for like $15. And here's the thing, like the idea, I bought Skyrim for my niece to enjoy for $15. You can't buy like damn near anything but like 3-year-old sports games on the modern consoles for that price. And even then, you've still got to go to the used store, because if you try to buy those games on the digital market, they're still jacked up in price. And the unfortunate reality is if we do away with physical media, everything is going to be in that scenario. You're not going to get a $15 game anymore unless it's an indie game that was like, you know, already marked down to a really low price, and then maybe also trying to put a deal out there to increase their sales. But like AAA games, they're going to be willing to sit there and wait. Gone are going to be those days before too long. But yeah, flea markets are good. You can also find some good DVDs with, not just flea markets, my brain is fried. Pawn shops. You can go to pawn shops, you can find old games. The problem I'm running into at pawn shops is, and I see so many stories of people online where it's like, oh, I went to this pawn shop and found like $500 worth of rare titles and I picked them up for $23. And I'm just like, I refuse to believe that that actually happens, because every single pawn shop I have ever walked into, if you're buying like art pieces or things like that, like the prices are what they are and maybe you can negotiate a little bit. But when it comes to anything digital, like a video game, for example, I don't care what the sticker price is when I walk into that store. Before I check out, they are either checking on their phone or their computer at the checkout area, and they are checking the currently sold prices, and they are hitting you with that, and sometimes even a $5 surcharge if they verify that it works right in front of you. Like, I refuse to believe that these people are just like, yeah, I found these like $400 or $500 worth of games and picked it up for $23-25. Like, that does, I'm sorry, that doesn't fucking happen. Not in the modern day. Alright, I kind of expected that to end up happening. I do want to see here. Affinity. Currently, I only have access to 4 weather types: sun, rain, snow, and sand. Satsuki did tell me that there are more team styles, but I can't use them yet. Wonder what they are. Oh, yeah, the team archetypes. There are different teams that I can... Okay, so there's going to be, like, I assume probably some way, somewhere to, like, swap things out, but that's really cool. So, again, this is another one of those games that is, got something really interesting and unique going for it. Uh-oh. However, I did just break the layering here. So yeah, it, as cool as it is, you know, still a ROM hack, and it's gonna have some imperfections going on. But, like, there's some cool ideas here. I do very much appreciate, this game and what it has going for it. So, as we get ready to hop over to another one, bear with me here for a little bit. I'm gonna switch that over. Let's see if I can get the next game loaded up that I wanted to go through. We'll get one more out of this. So I have a couple in here that were interesting to me. When I was doing some test runs, I think this is the one I saw that, like, I launched this game. I was super excited by it. I felt damn near like I was about ready to blow my load. But if you know by the music, which, by the way, I can see that I have to turn this up. Let's do that. The other ones all, again, without me actively, like, opening up my stream and playing that through the microphone, which I don't really want to do, it's hard for me to base the audio, so I can only go by, like, what I can see on the feedback system here. So I think that's probably pretty well balanced. Let me know if I have to turn that up or down. But if you can hear the music, you know what this game is going to be about. And I grew up absolutely, like, adoring the base game that this is based on. I don't know what it's going to play like. This is Pocket Crystal League. And this is based on, if I can actually get this going, there we go. This is based on the Pokemon TCG. Okay, so this one is not going to be compatible with the controller. Let me switch over to the keyboard here. But I loved this back in the day. God, do I want to go with the water or the grass? Welcome to the world of Pokemon cards. I am Professor Aspen of the Kyomu region, here to help you with the basics. Do you think you have what it takes to be the next Crystal League champion? Well, let's start from the beginning. Pick your starter deck. Alright. I love fire Pokemon, but unfortunately in the TCG, fire Pokemon are kind of ass. They have been for a long time. Every so often you get a couple of decent ones that roll around. Grass tends to be pretty good, and water is also pretty reliable. Given that this is the early era, I actually think I want to go water. I assume this is the early era. Alright, Squirtle, Totodile. Yo, Totodile! Pidgey, Sparrow, Rattata. Alright, so honestly, even though it is a water-based deck, it's kind of limited. Let's see how this plays out. Wait, hold on. I thought this was based on the actual TCG because of the music. Is this going to be like a deck building game? Like a different take on the idea of having a TCG game? Like, if you've played some roguelike games, there are a bunch out there that are deck building based. I wonder if that's what this is trying to do. I'm going to tell you. When I first launched this, I got the music and got so nostalgic, I just had, like, tunnel vision for the original Pokemon TCG. Alright, Keegs, have a good night, man. Pawn shops are generally pretty predatory. I don't mess with them. Yeah, that's the unfortunate scenario there. Alright, excellent choice. Now go to your deck and equip your newly acquired cards. Make sure to include all of your berries too, you'll need them. When you're done, come back here and let's get things started. Or, if you're already familiar with the rules, feel free to get a payout instead. I'm sorry, you can just pay me to skip the rules? Alright, let's see here. This is Definitely feeling more like a deck building game. Alright, grab all of the berries. Select. I assume they're in my deck now? Alright, here we go. Are you ready? Welcome to your very first card battle. Don't worry if it seems complicated at first, the rules are actually quite simple. It's your turn first, so let's start by drawing cards. On your first turn, you always get to draw 5. You get 5 draw points, or DP. These are used to draw Pokemon and berries from your deck. Berries are used to play your Pokemon. Oh! Is this like turning Pokemon into like a version of Magic the Gathering? There's 3 common types of berries. Oran berries, Leppa berries, and Lum berries. Again, I'm correlating this to Magic the Gathering because if that's how you're using your Pokemon, this sounds like the land, right? You've got your fire land, your red land, your green land, and your blue land, and so on. So you're getting berries and using them as land to get your points to be able to use your cards. Most Pokemon require one of these to be played. Right now you have 5 DP, which means you can draw cards. Drawing a Pokemon costs 2 DP, while drawing berries costs only 1 DP. Go ahead and draw, let's say, 2 Pokemon and 1 berry. Let's draw the 1 berry and 2 Pokemon. Good, it seems like both of your Pokemon require an Oran berry to be played. You can see the little berry icon next to their pictures. Play the Oran berry if you just got anywhere you want, and then play your Rattata on top of it. Pokemon can't attack during your first turn, so once your Rattata is placed, click the big green button to end your turn. So if I want to put Rattata in the far right, I put it there, and then I spend 1 Oran berry and get it in there. I assume that's what you're kind of... Yeah, I was going to say that little tiny ball down there is going to tell you what berry to use. I played my Sentret, but since it was my first turn, I couldn't attack either. It is now your turn again. You get 2 DP on all turns after your first. Go ahead and draw 2 more berries so that you can play your Pidgey. Good, play your Pidgey in front of my Sentret, blocking them. Then, oh, so you actually, like, where you place Pokemon is gonna matter too. Cool. So now, oh! Well, okay. And that does hit your actual, like, life points, your I guess it's your life points over here. Good job, your Pidgey attacked my Sentret, dealing damage equal to your Pidgey's attack minus my Sentret's defense. And your Rattata was unopposed, dealing damage to my hit points directly. As you can see on the right, the hit points bar is now tipped in your favor. Each point of damage dealt directly reduces your opponent's hit points while increasing your own. So actually managing to make direct attacks like it does more than just the damage difference because you get to gain that as well. When your opponent's hit points hit 0, congratulations, you win. Fair enough. It's your turn again. You have a berry in your hand, but no Pokemon to play. Draw another Pokemon next, then play it. Cool. Totodile only needs the Oran berry, so we're gonna slap him right down here. Is that? Okay, so that's water typing, and these are normal. Level 1. Alright, not a lot to go off of with the defense. Next turn, you have no cards to play right now. Draw another Pokemon, then attack once again with the ones already on the battlefield. That's gonna do 2 damage, putting a lot more in my favor, but not a lot to go off of there. What a lucky draw. Your Spearow has a type advantage over Bellsprout that I played. This is the perfect time to draw some more berries. Draw a berry. Play the berry. Play the berry. It's because I have more points. Alright, there we go. When a Pokemon has a type advantage over another, their attacks will always deal at least 1 extra point of damage, plus 1 for every 4 levels, even if the receiving Pokemon has a higher defense. Contrary to real Pokemon, though, type advantages in cards only deal bonus damage. This means that there are no type resistances or immunities, and Pokemon that are weak to a certain type will always receive extra damage to it. This makes it so that, for example, Bulbasaur will always deal bonus damage to other Bulbasaurs since Poison has an advantage over Grass. But anyways, go ahead and play your Spearow. Takes you out. What's the difference there? I only know 2 things about Magic the Gathering. Black Lotus is the first edition Charizard of Magic, and Modern Magic is a case of oops, all brand collabs. The other thing that I know about it, hold on, let me see here. Before teaching a glyph to one of your cards, though, you should know that Pokemon usually increase their berry cost the first time they learn a glyph, and they can't be forgotten afterwards, so choose carefully. Each card can have up to 3 different glyphs, so that's probably going to be where you're going to get like bonus attributes here. You can see what any of them does by placing your mouse over its icon to look around. But anyways, draw your last pathetic Pokemon, Kaiba. Wow. I had that backwards. Kaiba's the one who says that. Whoops. Place it in front of my Pidgey to take them out, then attack with the rest of your Pokemon. Berry down, Pokemon down, swing, 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 swing. So now, even though they're going to be able to put something down, I do have the turn order in my favor. But yeah, what I was getting at with Magic the Gathering is, it is the trading card game for people with more money in their pocket than they have capacity to, like, be creative. Because unfortunately, Magic the Gathering, is largely just a matter of who has the bigger pocketbook. Which, unfortunately, a lot of trading card games eventually boil down to. Don't play Vaporeon considering the joke people make about what Kaiba wants to do with the blue eyes. Oh, and yet when I played that one game, I almost mistakenly interpreted it as if the Eevee that I started with could only become a Vaporeon. Alright, that was a great battle. You clearly have a talent for cards, but talent is little without practice. To be able to battle in the Crystal League, you first need to build up your team and experience. Your goal is to travel through Kiyomu and challenge each of the gym leaders from the 8 major cities in the region. Along the way, you'll be presented with numerous choices to expand your deck, strengthen your cards, and battle other trainers. Here's your first set of choices. You can either get a card pack with 3 new cards and a random berry, or pick up a free card from a random set of 3. Ooh, okay. After that, your first stop will be to challenge the gym leader, Ian, in Iris Town. It will be hard, but don't give up. Alright. So, right now, my thought is, in order to use Pokemon, I have 5 Pokemon, 5 berries. I have everything needed to bring these Pokemon out to the field and make use of them. But if I take a free card, there's nothing that implies to me as of yet that I'll be able to make use of it. Either it's a berry and it means nothing, or it's going to be a Pokemon and I can't use it without a berry. So, I'm going to take the pack for now and see what options we get here. New berry. Ooh, Quillfish. Alright, so, going off of this, it looks like Kangaskhan still has 1 berry cost, the Oran Berry, which I have in my deck. I can swap out one of my Pokemon, put the Leppa Berry in, put the Grimer in, and replace one of my Pokemon with Kangaskhan, which is going to just be a stronger Pokemon. So let's put the Leppa Berry in, and let's see. We have 2 flying types. Let's drop. I mean, honestly, Spearow. Let's drop Spearow out. Let's throw Grimer in and Kangaskhan in, and we'll rock that deck, and we'll go on to the next one. Buy a glyph with money I do not have. Okay. Berry pack sounds pretty good. Leveling up a Pokemon sounds pretty solid too. +1 HP, +1 attack, +1 defense. Okay, that takes me back. I'm gonna level up Kangaskhan. And it costs no additional berries. So now it's the same berry cost, but it's just as strong. And this is literally just a deck building game though. But I do love the idea here. I still love the existence of Kaibaman as a card, as well as the modern retrain called... There's a new Kaibaman? Hold up. I love my Blue Eyes cards. I didn't know there was a new Kaibaman. Kaibaman... The Legend. I gotta see this. I'm sorry. Let me see what we're working with here. Holy shit, there's also some new Paladin cards. God, that's expensive, but it looks so good. I love the art there. I also love the art of Kaibaman the Legend. You've actually got him rocking the 3 blue eyes and the whole blue eyes silhouette behind him. Again, the holographic card for that is crazy expensive. The regular one isn't so bad. Let me see what this one does. It's a tuner, warrior. If this card is normal or special summon, you can show 3 blue eyes white dragons in your hand, deck, face up field, and or graveyard. Then special summon 1 blue eyes white dragon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. If you special summon blue eyes white dragon while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can banish this card, add 1 blue eyes monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effective Kaibaman the Legend once per turn. It is not a strong card, like, stat-wise, but I love the blue eyes card, so, like, that was fun to know about. Thank you for that, Rigid. I normally consider deck building roguelikes, but meh. But as a Pokemon fan, right, so I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably right in the same boat with you. I'm not, like, super sold on this, but, like, I'm not mad at it either. Alright, let's start with Kangaskhan lined up right there. I don't think I can attack with it, yeah, because it is my first turn. Alright, so now let's draw the berry. Oh, man. Yeah, we're going to double dip on the berries. Let's put you there, put you there. Swing, and swing. Yeah, like I was saying, deck building, I'm like in the position of like take it or leave it, but I'm not mad at this, at least as a general brief idea point. Alright, again, it's not going to mean anything without the berries to use them, so we're just going to rock that for now, and I think it's going to be pretty hard for me to lose the game at this point. Totodile right there, arm in arm with Kangaskhan, and just drop him down to 0. I was not expecting this to be a roguelike at all, but, you know, still kind of cool. Take the battle, you can, your reward, oh, it's a range for the reward. So you can take just the 100 and not do the battle, or you can fight him and get your reward. You are also, so I wonder if this is going to differ from who you look at. This guy has 10 HP. I don't know what the 5-5 split means. Maybe that means that we each have 5 health at the start of it. But it sounds like, at least if they're telling me that is a stat line, some battles may have different, like, scenarios there. So it is going to be a matter of determining what do you think you can do with your deck based on the requirements of the battle. I'm not going to go too far into this because, again, deck building and me is kind of just... I'm in the same boat with Richard. Like, I was expecting a Pokemon TCG game, and, like, I was all hyped for that. Deck builder is not a bad thing, but, like, once you know it's a deck builder, it's kind of just, you know, there's only so much more to show off about it, so... I'm kind of going to call that one there. And unfortunately, with the circumstances today, I do have to keep my stream a little short. I do have a couple of things I still have to go do. My mother's still in the hospital. I haven't even spoken with her yet, so I want to do that before she is down for the night. So, as always, everyone, thank you so much for coming by. I hope you guys have a good one. And next time, we're going to take a look at a few more, but I don't know. I might return to that real-time battle one. That one was really cool. Anyways, thank you so much, everyone, for stopping in. I hope you have a good one, as always. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.